Listen to me now, it's coming down to the two of us. Let me show you how, listen to me now, it's coming down to the two of us. Listen to me now, it's coming down to the two of us. Let me show you how, listen to me now, it's coming down to the two of us.
And welcome to Off the Glass, the Oak Ridge High School basketball coaches show. Joining me is the head coach of the Lady Wildcats, Coach Paige Taylor. Coach, you made it through the regular season. I mean,
Yep.
I think that's one of the things we talked about way on back. You know, hoping with COVID and everything going on that we'd make it, and you did.
We did. I'm excited that we did. You know, early on, didn't know if we were going to have a season, and I was talking to someone the other day, and really January, Christmas break, everybody thought it was getting ready to shut down completely, and we're thankful that we got to get through our district and play all of our district games.
Right, and you are the district champions, and you're now sitting and waiting for an opponent. We were just a few moments ago watching the game, potential game between Campbell County and Clinton. You'll play the winner of that game. Clinton was up when we last looked. Well, before we go off with your segment, we'll know who you're going to play. But either way, you've played everybody in the district, and you went through the district schedule undefeated. So, I mean, you've had your way with about every team. Carnes game, but the Powell games were close.
Yes.
But for the most part, you know, the matchups are pretty good. They kind of favor you a little bit.
They do, and I think we've grown throughout the district. You know, each game I felt like we got better. The first Powell game, you know, was too close for comfort, and I think we got better by the time we played them the second time around. And you can't go into the postseason, though, just thinking you're going to win basketball games, any postseason. Just like we were talking about, there were upsets last night with the boys, and anytime there can be an upset. So it's a whole new season at this point. We've got to be ready.
What was crazy about the boys last night is the, you know, because of COVID, the higher seeds are hosting, as most people know. The home teams lost last night, which is interesting. And right now, the home team in Campbell County is losing their ball game. Yeah. So maybe it's not the greatest advantage. but I'm glad it's going to be at our place regardless. I mean, you can play every single postseason game at the Wildcat Arena.
Right.
I know, talking to your girls, they're very comfortable playing there, obviously.
They are. And, you know, it's nice because you're in the routine. You have shoot-around after school, you have your pregame meal, and then you play. And it's where, you know, they've been there, seniors been there 4 years, and it trickles on down. You practice there every day. You know, there's a good comfort there, and you know, they know where everybody sits in the gym, where their families are. It's just a comfort level there that it's an extra boost of confidence.
You know, one thing, this actually happened. I noticed it before COVID, actually, but somebody asked me the other night, how come you all don't ride buses anymore? And I said, you know, I think they honestly quit riding buses a while back. I know you've taken the vans before, and
so girls, I'll be honest with you. I don't know if I should say this out loud, but when I started coaching 6 years ago, I asked, you know, about buses because the boys were taking a bus. And they asked me if I wanted to put money in an exhaust pipe or if I wanted to put money into my girls. And so I said, I'll put money into my girls. because it's expensive to take a bus, you know, and you almost have to take 2 buses or 1 bus and loop it, and it's just not. So we actually we've always traveled. Coaches drive, and we usually have girls in our car, and then we have parents that drive. This year, though, due to COVID and trying to keep from getting people quarantined, everybody rode with their own parent to every game.
Coach, I'm hearing a little noise in the back. Dylan, do we need to take a break? Okay, it's live TV, so we're Coach, we only have one game to talk about that you played, and we'll roll the highlights. Dylan, if you would. This is from Friday, and this is at Fulton, obviously, and Kamari, career night, 40 points in the ball game.
Yeah, she had a good night offensively. I think Fulton, that's a good matchup for us because it causes us to play a lot faster than we're normally used to playing. It's a bit chaotic all over the place, and I think we were sloppy for a little bit, but at points we got ourselves together. Obviously Kamari led us in scoring, but I think it's a good game to lead us into the postseason.
Yeah, it was a very athletic team, very young Fulton team. They had a lot of youth there, but they challenged you in many ways. They had a big inside presence, and they were just as quick, if not quicker, than you all.
And I like that big girl inside. I mean, she battles, and she asked for the basketball. I mean, that was a tough inside game for us. And you're right, very quick, maybe quicker than us overall. Number 2, I don't know their names, but she could shoot the ball from anywhere. 23, I think her name's Sammy, first name. She, she's a freshman, and I think we contained her really well. But that's a kid that's she's gonna mature and grow and get a ton. When I say grow basketball-wise and get a ton better.
And it got close there for a little while, but then you were able to, just plays like this. I mean, your defense created offense.
Yeah, and that's I keep saying that's where we're the best. When we can get a defensive stop and turn it into offense.
Yeah, 40 points though, and there's Samaj. I think she had 16 in the ball game. One of her better ball games in a while, actually, offensively.
It was, yes. We have to have, Kamari, obviously, she can score points, and we need Kamari scoring those points, but we've got to have other people contributing. We need, Samaj has to contribute, Hope needs to contribute, Cannon and Lauren both, I've talked to both of them, they have to contribute. When Gracie's in, she has to contribute. Emily's in, she's in there, she's going to rebound and put back. That's what we're looking for with Emily. So, but we've got to have more contributors offensively.
I know it's the last couple of weeks, and not putting anybody down here, but you started Emily the last 2 ball games, Gracie off the bench.
Right. We just had to make some changes. I've said this all along, and I've said it to Gracie, and I'll say it to anybody. Gracie has so much potential, and she's got great hands. She can catch just about anything that you throw to her, and probably the best hands of anybody on the team. She can run when she wants to run, and she's got a great touch. She's got good post moves. She's got to be more physical, and she's got to want it. And quite honestly, I'm trying to motivate her in a different way than I have, and just trying to figure it out.
Yeah, the last show we did, we talked about the Catholic games and the Cleveland ball games. What did you see different in the Fulton game compared to those 2 ball games?
The Catholic game, we were just, it was just a rough game all the way around. I don't think we were ever, it never clicked. It never got going. I felt like the Cleveland game, I think we played much better basketball in the Cleveland game. We had too many turnovers. We had too many unforced turnovers, and then turnovers at the end of the game, not getting out, defending the 3. And I think our defense was much better against Fulton. I think that fight, in a close game, at some point you've got to separate yourself and pull away. And we pulled away with Cleveland and we lost it. We pulled away with Fulton and we kept it.
Coach, I'm going to change the subject, come back to what we're talking about before I forget something. Your daughter's in the house here, and she said something to me on the show last week, and I confronted her dad about it too. Okay, here is a girl, a young lady who plays basketball for you, is a starter for a basketball team, who told me she doesn't like sports. I found that to be so funny, to have two Division I athletes as parents who have been around sports their whole lives,
Yeah.
and she doesn't like sports.
Yeah.
What did you do?
Well, I honestly, what my mentality, because, you know, even when I was pregnant with her, everybody, even before, you know, when y'all have kids, they're going to be athletes, you know, and when they, you know, they're going to play basketball. And, you know, when I was pregnant with her, everybody's buying stuffed basketballs and, you know, stuff this, stuff that. And I did not want her or Cutler, either one of them, to ever feel like they had to be like us.
Yeah.
You know, I wanted them to be their own people, and define their own path. You know, it didn't have to be basketball. It didn't have to be anything. I've always told them I wanted them involved in something, you know, a sport, something, because, you know, I just had a conversation with a kid, a soccer player, a junior soccer player, a guy on our soccer team that is wanting to play college soccer, and we were talking, and I said, you know, I've told my own kids this, and I believe it. I said, I went to Vanderbilt. I have an undergrad degree from there, a master's degree from there. I have another master's degree in counseling from LMU, and nothing taught me how to work every day in my job with people like playing on a sport did. And that's, you know, and I've told Cannon that too, about you'll never work in a job where you don't have group work or teamwork or something, unless you're just sitting at a desk by yourself, and that's not a very fun job. You're always going to have to know how to work with people. But yeah, Cannon's unique in her own way. She's
smiling back there. In fact, that's actually why I asked you. I wanted to see her how she would react to that.
Yeah, I know. She said, he asked me, I think, I don't know if you asked her or she was saying, if he asked me who my favorite college or basketball team is, I'm going to say I don't have one.
Yeah, which is, I don't get that from anybody. They
Right.
all say the Golden State or the Lakers or somebody or UT or whatever. So I found that to be humorous, actually. But
yeah, I just, you know, like I said, I didn't want them to feel like, I think you can overdo it in sports. You know, so I think my dad always told me there's the good in sports, and there's also a bad side of sports. And I wanted them to find their own way.
Well, you know, you deal with it every day, and I don't want you to call them out here, but you know, you have to deal with parents. You have to deal with their teachers and everything. There's a lot more involved with just going out on the floor on a Tuesday or Friday night and rolling the basketball out there.
It is, you know. I don't think a lot of people. I didn't realize it coming in, you know, because you think coach basketball, I just go to practice and coach and go to the games. You know, you're right. I deal with teachers. I deal with administrators. You know, you deal with parents. You have to figure out, you know, planning. I'm already right now trying to plan next year's schedule. I mean, you know, it's constant. I wash the uniforms after every game, fill water bottles up. You know, I mean, there's a big job that comes with it, you know, and especially wanting to travel, the fundraising and working with the community and different things. But you know, I always say if I could just coach, it'd be okay.
Yeah, that's what a lot of coaches do, and you can, you know, if you were, I guess, at the college level, but then there's more things that come with that, fundraising, boosters, and all of that. So, and there's a lot more involved. But you know, you obviously do it because you love it, I would assume. Yeah,
you know, I think I may have said this. I remember getting a phone call in my house. I was folding laundry late one night from Makai Dowdell. She was a freshman, and she said, "Will you please be our coach?" And Makai didn't know if I could coach or not. You know, I'd worked in the gym some. I walked through, you know, and they'd been there, and I'd shoot around or whatever with them. But, and you know, it hit me. These girls, they're starving for somebody to give them an opportunity. Mm-hmm. You know, and I can remember at Bradley playing in front of 5,000 people. You know, going to the state tournament and playing and big games. And at Greenville, the Greenville tournament, that place would be packed and playing teams from Chicago and Pennsylvania. And I thought these girls deserve to have that same opportunity, you know, and to be celebrated and to feel successful. And that's why I did it. And I tell them all the time, it's not about me. I've been there. I've done that. You know, I've played high school basketball. I did this, and this. I've played college basketball. I've got, you know, but it's your turn. You know, and I'm here to try to help you have a really good turn. It's kind of funny, the difference, but people ask me all the time, do you have to do the ball? No, I've done 2,000 ball games. I mean, I don't have to do it. I do it for the fun of it, honestly. It's just, I don't have to do it. Yeah. Maybe 10 years ago, I probably thought, you know, but not anymore. Yeah. So, Coach, let's talk about your tournament here. I haven't got the text here. I'm waiting to find the final score here, but last I checked, Clinton was ahead of Campbell County. As the tournament unfolds here, you're at home. I guess you would be the favorite.
to win it. Powell, I would assume. How do you see these other matchups? I know we don't know what's going on with
Right.
Halls and Carnes tonight. Basketball's all about matchups.
It is.
It isn't
Yeah.
necessarily like, look at Carnes. They match up well with us for whatever
Right.
reason, and then other teams don't. So.
Right, yeah, and that's what I said about Clinton and Campbell County. It's not a good matchup. And it is. It's about matchup. It's size. You can have size. You can have quickness. You can have depth. I mean, there's all sorts of different things. You can have shooters. So I think Clinton or Campbell County, I think either one is a good matchup for us. Size-wise, Clinton's a good matchup for us. Campbell County, I feel confident after playing them. That was probably one of our worst district games besides the Carnes games that we played up there. Yes, up there. And I left there super frustrated. But then, we came back and we played a great game against them at home. And I feel more confident about our matchup with them too.
Well, what about the whoever wins whether it be Halls or can anybody match up with Powell on that side of the bracket?
Powell's a tough place to play at Powell to begin with, and I feel like that's a team that walks into every game confident, and I think that Powell would be a tough matchup for either Carnes or Halls. I think Halls kind of played them fairly close, so. But Halls has Macy Kirby, who's a senior and determined. I mean, she's a player. She works at it. She's a competitor. She's not going to quit and give up and make it. Just give it to them.
Schedule. Our first ball game will be Friday, 7 o'clock, Wildcat Arena. The boys will be playing 7 on Saturday. Regardless, you'll win or lose. You'll play again on Monday.
Right.
Against. In the finals of the consolation.
Right.
Explain something to me. Obviously, if you win, you're at home. If you were to lose the ball game Friday, would you have to go to, or would you still be at home?
It's where you play is the higher seed in the tournaments. Like, so if we lost, because we're the number 1 seed, if we lost, I believe we would still host.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. I wouldn't think that it would just go to the number 2 seed.
No.
But
Yeah.
The other district, District 4, is very strong. I've been following some of their scores. Bearden's one of the top teams. Maryville's up there. Farragut's pretty good. Who is the 4th team? Is it Heritage?
Yeah, it's Farragut, Bearden, Maryville, Heritage.
So it's basically the same old team. It's kind of flip-flop. William Blunt sometimes.
William Blunt's not as strong this year. Heritage beat Maryville, I believe, at Heritage already. So, and you talk about matchups. Those are 4 completely different matchups.
Well, how do you match it? Well, we've seen Maryville and Bearden play, but how do you match up with Farragut?
Farragut's, they run a lot of just dribble drive offense, tons of threes, attacking the paint. Not really an inside presence. They'll post up. So historically we're not great at guarding the 3. So it could be, a tough matchup for us. They're going to try to run and push the ball. In that regard, it'll be a good matchup for us.
I know, like all coaches, you're just concentrating on, even though you don't know who the next one is.
Right.
But it's one of the 2, so I'm sure you've been looking at that. But you have to kind of look down the road just a little bit. The region would begin, I believe, a week from Friday.
Yes.
And that basically another 7 o'clock.
Right.
And the boys would play on Saturday, too. So,
correct.
And the top 2 teams advance to the sub-state. You've been there before. Haven't been there in a couple of years.
Right.
So I know these girls probably, like Cannon.
The interesting thing is I was cleaning out my office the other day and I found pictures from that first team that we coached that went to play in the state championship game. And, when we've gone to state, Cannon has never been a part of that. She's always been sitting on the bench behind her and Cutler both, and they're up cheering. And there's a part of me, and I started thinking, like, Lauren and Samaj and Gracie didn't go to the state tournament her freshman year. She had knee surgery, and Lauren and Samaj went but didn't get to play. Kamari and Hope has been, but didn't play much her sophomore year. So Kamari's the only one that has true that experience there, even in a sectional. And so it would be nice for those younger girls to have that experience.
Speaking of younger girls, over the weekend, one of our 2 middle schools, Robertsville, won the state championship, and they just cruised through the postseason. I think the closest game was like 20 points or whatever.
Yeah.
So you've got some talent. I don't know anything about Jefferson at all, and I apologize for that, but I have seen Robertsville play the last 2 years. You got to feel pretty good about some talent that's coming up.
Yeah, super excited. You know, anytime you know, I was asked this question. I think I've mentioned this before by a parent about, you know, losing your seniors, and it is hard losing those seniors, but you've got something to look forward to. You know, bringing more people, girls into that program, and so, you know, excited about the talent that's there, and you know, super proud of them for winning a state championship in the middle school, and they know how to win. You know, that's the good part. Yeah. They know how to win, and they're coming into a program that also knows how to win and wants to win, and that's always the goal.
Coach, I've asked Erin McGinnis to join us on the show next week. She's the coach at Robertsville, two-time Miss Basketball for us, has now coached a state championship and has played on a state championship team. So that's kind of cool. She doesn't talk much, but she reluctantly said that she'll come on. So and I look forward to that next week. Coach, as we get ready for the next ball game, let's talk about these Clinton team. You talk about the matchups. They have Jazz Moore, they have Sarah Burton, they've got Nia Sanders, that's Clinton.
Right.
Campbell County, much smaller, very guard-oriented.
Right, correct. You know, like you said, two totally different matchups. Have to have a big presence inside with Jasmine, you know, because against most teams, she dominates inside. We need to run the floor. Sarah Burton she's a shooter, you know. I mean, she's got a great shot. She's a shooter, and we've got to have pressure on her and not allow her to get those open looks. And Nia is someone, you know, we just got to keep her in front of us and not give her space to get her shot off. But Clinton, the big key, well, both Campbell County and Clinton is pushing in transition, you know, not allowing them to get set defensively and attacking them. And Clinton, I mean, Campbell County, again, you got to have ball pressure on those shooters and keep them in front and not allow them to drive and kick for that three.
Yeah, the good thing about this semifinal round match, it won't be hard for your girls to get excited to play. Right. It's two teams they like to play.
It's a good environment. It's just they're two good matchups for us mentally, I think.
Coach, you played in front of some good crowds the last few ball games. The Fulton crowd was bigger than I had expected. Yes. Actually, it didn't look like they were actually following the Knox County rules, but that's okay. I mean, I think the players, they love to play in front of.
You know, it's good for them because you know, this has had to be a hard season, not playing in front of your friends and your family, extended family that is, and having that atmosphere, because it's a part of it. You know, the cheering, especially in close game situations. So I'm glad to see the crowds. I felt that way at the Catholic game. You know, I was like, whoa, you know, this is restrictions gone. Everybody's here.
You mentioned at the start of the season you had like 13 total players in the program. How did the junior varsity season end up for you?
They did well. Played a really tough game last game of the season against Cleveland. A good JV team. I think those girls grew. It's really hard, you know. I like it when we have enough girls to have two separate practices to really focus on those younger girls and develop those skills. But, you know, when you don't have enough to do that and you got to keep them to have a varsity practice, it makes it a little bit harder. And they, you know, they learn by hearing more than they learn by doing when we start getting into the bulk of our season, breaking things down. But I think there was growth there in a couple of them. You know, there's some talent there. They just, you know, it's a big transition from middle school to high school. And for some, you know, it doesn't faze them, and for some, you know, it's a big transition. And so I think that transition surprised a couple of them.
The numbers that you had, was it because of COVID? Did some people just elect not to play, or?
No, I think. You know, we had 2 from Robertsville and 3 from Jefferson that tried out. And, you know, I said this my very first year coaching, you know, high school is so much different than college because not everybody, even on a high school team, even wants to play high school basketball. They're going to play for a couple years and quit, or, you know, and that year I remember standing in the circle saying, look around, not everybody here is going to be here your senior year. And 2 girls quit that year. And it's just the way it is. And not everybody wants to play college basketball either. So the goals are different for everybody, and you've got to make it work. You don't get to handpick like you do in AAU or college. You get to take the cards you're dealt and make it work, play the hand.
Well, one thing I noticed about the Robertsville team, I mean, last year they were basically all 7th graders. I mean, there was maybe 2 that even were on the roster last year. So I guess the 2 that you got were on the roster, but for the most part, this is a big group is about to come up. I don't know anything about Jefferson, but I know what Robertsville, that's the way it is.
No, it is a big group, and that's exciting. You know, you hope all of them stick with it. You know, I encourage all the girls, you know, high school is much different than middle school, and to give it a chance, you know, give high school basketball a chance and try out, and hopefully we'll have those numbers.
Coach, I don't usually answer the phone. That was Coach Pruden. I always answer the phone when Coach Pruden, she was asking me when you will play, actually. So
Okay.
I'll tell her after there, or you can tell her after, because she, you know, despite the fact she's been gone for about, I guess, 10 years or so, she's still really...
She does. She'll text me every now and then, check in.
Yeah, that's one person I do not I don't want to get on her bad side. I always used to joke, and you're very easy, win or lose. The disappointment's there, obviously, when you lose. I hated to talk to her. You're very competitive. You're pretty close. The most competitive human being I've ever known in my life was Coach Pruden, and I hated to talk to her after a loss. I mean, even if it was a regular season loss or a state tournament loss, it's like, we used to say, you're going to talk to her. That's what we used to do. Coach, just your final comments as we get ready to close out the district tournament. By the time our next show rolls around, you'll be getting ready for the region. Yeah,
so excited about the postseason. You know, this is a team that I feel could really make a run for it if they want to. You know, the ball's in their court, whatever they want to do, and they're going to get out of it what they put in it. Proud of them for going undefeated in the district regular season, and that part's behind us, and now we got to get ready to play for championships.
Coach, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
It's Paige Taylor, head coach of the Oak Ridge Lady Wildcats. They're in action against either Clinton or Campbell County. I didn't get the final on that. Here it is right here. Lady Dragons hold on to win 55-53. So you'll be playing Clinton. So I guess you'll start
We'll go get ready for them tomorrow.
Appreciate Coach joining us here. We're going to turn our attention to the boys here in a second. This is Off the Glass. We'll be back with the boys' side of things in a moment.
Everything we do is in search of more go. If it can withstand 0 degrees, can it go -20? If it can run through 5 inches of water per hour, can it go to 6? We go. So it goes. So you can go. It's hard to stop a train.
Fox Insurance Group is a local agency. We've got a great staff. We're knowledgeable. The most rewarding thing about working in insurance is taking care of customers. When they come in, a lot of times they don't know what coverages they need. They're relying on us to give them the right coverage that's going to fit their needs, but also at a competitive price. Anybody can go to any agent or they can call any 1-800 number. But getting that right agent that's going to take care of them and be there in time of need, and that's what we're here to do.
We're always moving. Scratch that. We're always moving forward. But forward can sometimes look a little backwards. Or like circles. Or like nothing at all. But we never stop. We never stop. Because life never stops. It's hard to stop a train.
Life is made of moments. Moments to share. Moments that are special. And those that are everyday. How do we meet these moments for over 2 million people across 23 counties in East Tennessee? We will meet them not as just a group of hospitals, but as one community of care. Because this is about you, and it's about time. Covenant Health. For every moment.
Train extreme conditions testing. It's hard to stop a train. Really hard. Train, the most reliable heating and cooling.
And welcome back to Off the Glass. Joining me is, as Coach Taylor said, Coach Miller. Jeremy Miller joins us once again. Jeremy, you're a regular on the show here, taking over for Coach Green. Do you want to be a coach?
No, not really. That's not
somewhere down the line when you have
well,
kids, maybe?
Yeah, I kind of used to, but now, like, there's a lot of stuff that goes into it. Like, it's not as easy as what I thought it was at one point.
We've got three special guests with us, and we'll talk to them as well. Let's flip over to that shot over there. We got, well, we used to have three. There we go. That's Flip Thompson on the left, Kel Slater in the middle, and Darren Osborne on the right there. Guys, first off, thanks a lot for joining us here. I'm going to talk to Jeremy for a little bit and talk to you all intermittently as we go here. Season, well, I'll ask all four of you here. Season has come to a close, regular season. Played Fulton on Friday. We're going to play some highlights in a moment, but I'll ask them first. Guys, season-wise, you all pleased with the way the season's gone? Kel, you got the mic. You want to? Yeah.
We could have did better, but we did okay. I felt like those couple of losses should have been wins, though.
Flip, your thoughts?
Yeah, I feel like the two games we lost at Alcoa, we should have won those games.
Darren,
So,
yeah. You want to add?
Yeah, I came a little late, but the time I've been here has been good, winning games, keeping the streak moving.
Darren was on the football team. That's why Am was injured, I believe, right before the season started. So he didn't get to be a part of the first part. Jeremy, I'll ask you the same question. I've asked you this maybe 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah.
I've asked you this, but you're now at the end here, and it's a whole brand new season. You start 0-0. Can you flip that switch and play the kind of ball you played last year in the postseason?
Yeah, I think we can, just because of, like you just said, last season we were kind of in the same situation, and I just think that we're more prepared, even more prepared than we were last year.
You at the postseason, you're only missing one player off of last year's team, and that is Isaiah Johnson. Kel, you've basically taken over his role as the point guard, and Isaiah probably had, I don't know, Jeremy, maybe the best postseason run of anybody on the team.
Yeah.
And is there a little pressure on you, maybe to do the same kind of things that Isaiah? I know you're a different kind of player, similar in some ways, but different in other ways. Is there any pressure on you?
Yeah, there is pressure, but I just try to get my team involved and then take the shots I can hit and then just try to get the win.
Flip, you're a point guard too. I guess you are Kel's backup, I would guess, right now. Same with you. And let me compare the two of you together. How are you a different player than Kel? And Kel, how are you a different player than Flip?
I feel like Kel is like, he attacks the rim more than me. Like, I'm more like a passer, and like, if I'm open, I'll shoot it.
Very seldom, though. I mean, you are an assist machine, basically. You actually throw the ball. You do pass really well, for one thing, but don't take a lot of shots. Kel, you're a true point guard too, but you take a little bit more shots.
I just try to take the shots that, well, when we need to score, that's when I try to score. Other than that, I just go with it and just go with the game.
Darren, you're not a point guard. I mean, you're kind of the oddball sitting up there. You're a post player.
Yeah.
So talk about your game. What are the strengths of your game?
For me, I'd say the strengths of my game would be more like my shooting. I can stretch the floor, space the floor out, get rebounds. That's really what I do.
Jeremy, teammates over there. Darren wasn't on the varsity with you last year, but everybody's contributed, I think, this year to the success of the team. As you see this year's team compared to last year's team at the same time.
Wait, what was the question?
Just are you at the same level, playing at the same level?
Oh yeah, I believe so. I don't exactly remember how many games we won last year, but I feel like our records are about the same. So, and then obviously our chemistry's just like gotten better and keeps on growing more and more, like that we've built off of from last year. So, I believe that we're in a better position than we were.
Let's look at some of the Fulton highlights. Dylan, if you'll roll those. This is from Friday. You had come into this game off of a big win over Cleveland. Fulton's always tough. This is a young Fulton team, but still very, very, very talented. Talk about this game.
Yeah, Fulton's always really athletic and really kind of scrappy on defense, and they like to reach and go for steals and all that kind of stuff. So kind of protecting the ball was like our main focus on that game, and just like playing at our own pace and not letting them determine what we did.
I thought early on you could have gotten in the ball to Jonathan Milloway, like all night.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't really have an answer. Tommy was down there, but he didn't really match up real well with him. Tommy Sweat. I thought that was a very big advantage you all had.
Yeah, having Milloway around it's great, because a lot of people around here just don't have the size to compete with him, and if they do, they're not as athletic as what Milloway is. So
I thought in this particular ball game, Jonathan Stewart shot the ball real well. I thought he's been solid all year. Honestly, he's played good defense. He's got a ton of assists this year, and he's been shooting the ball well. He's up to about 85 threes in his career. Here's Kel coming down the lane. Kel, was this one of your better ball games? I thought it was one of your better ball games in the last couple of weeks or so. Would you agree?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, what was different? Just maybe the competition level, certain teams bring it out of you?
I like being pressured. I feel like because there's more like opportunity during the game when someone's up on me, because I feel like no one can really stay in front of me.
Okay, that's a good attitude to take there. They just left the baseline open there for Jonathan to drive, and here comes number 23, a little out of control there. But,
yeah, I about lost it.
But you get bailed out. And I'll tell you, somebody's been shooting the ball well is Jamison.
Yeah.
I mean, Jamison just all of a sudden has just been knocking down threes, and there's Stafford Shanklin doing what he likes to do. But and why didn't he dunk it there?
Yeah, I don't know. We all ask him the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, it was there for that, you know. And I'm going to ask you three if you guys can dunk here a little bit later on. But this was the last regular season ball game against a good team, and it's always good to head into the postseason with a win over a good team.
Yeah.
And you know, you've played everybody in the district. Obviously, you're 14-0 in the district, but these last three games had to, you know, kind of get you kind of motivated for the postseason.
Yeah, it's always good to kind of like right before we go into the postseason, just like see where we're at and like kind of get used to the competition that we're about to have to play. Like when we get to regions and hopefully state, just like to see teams of that'll compete with us in the way that those teams will when we get there.
Guys, you feel the same way that the last three ball games of the season, you know, really kind of prepared you for the district, which was going to begin for you guys on Saturday? They're nodding their heads. These are the last. They made a little run, I guess, maybe in the third quarter, and then you all just kind of put them away there in the fourth quarter. What was the difference between the third and the fourth?
I think, like I was saying earlier, we kind of started taking care of the ball better and just making better decisions offensively, and then defensively we kind of just stepped up and played a little bit harder. I feel like we were kind of lazy a little bit in the first half at times.
Let me ask you, Jeremy. You're a senior, so you know this is it for you. I mean, you've got to win. I mean, you don't have to win Saturday, obviously. I mean, you're going to play regardless on Tuesday, but a little bit more sense of urgency in your mind, or you know, it's just business as usual with you.
Yeah, I think there's definitely like an extra little fire lit, but just because like just knowing that your last game could be any of the next couple games that you play in just makes you want to go a little bit harder, just do the little things more.
This is kind of getting towards the end of the ball game, but the postseason, as we mentioned, you all will play on Saturday either against Campbell County or Powell. I believe got beat last night by Powell. Got beat by Carnes, which is kind of surprising. Did that surprise you? It surprised me, honestly.
Yeah, a little bit. I knew Carnes could beat them, but I didn't really know if they would.
Carnes was the 8th seed, and then, you know, they played you all tough that last game over at Carnes, but I didn't think you all played your best game that particular night. But I thought Powell would give them, especially the game was at Powell. In fact, what was weird last night, the home teams lost both games, like Anderson County.
And Halls, yeah.
Yeah, the game was played at Halls in Anderson County. Did that surprise you that Anderson County beat Halls?
No, I did think that Anderson County was going to win that one just because I know they split with them, but I don't know, I just feel like Anderson County is a better team in that situation.
So, guys, are you all excited about the district starting on Saturday?
Yes.
That's Kel. Kel, why are you excited?
Well, even though it's only been like a couple of days. I'm ready to play again and then get in the region and then hopefully go to state.
Towards the end of the season, let me just ask you this, all three of you, or Jeremy, you can answer. Is it kind of a grind here at the end of the year? Like you're kind of like, okay, this is fun, but let's go ahead and start the postseason. Is that kind of what you're saying there, Kel?
Yes, because like district, well, we did good in the district, but it gets more serious during the postseason.
Flip, let me ask you something here. Do you get tired of practicing? I mean, is that you and Darren are role players. You get a chance to play, but do you get tired of practicing, not knowing when you're going to get into a ball game? Does that stress you out a little bit?
No, actually, I like practice because like.
How come?
Like if you're doing good or something in practice, you play more minutes. So like the great team or whatever against the Maroon, like if we're doing good, like everybody we'll play more if you're doing good in practice. So like it's like for me, like I like to practice because I could like.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting. A lot of people don't say that. Darren, I know. Did your injury kind of slow you down? I mean, I know you haven't. You've just been kind of easing your way into it. Did your injury slow you down getting playing time?
Well, I wasn't injured. I was out due to COVID.
Oh.
But yeah. But in terms of what you said about practice, I have no problem with coming to practice. If anything, it just gets me better because in practice I'm guarding Milloway, who's our starting center, and he's a pretty tall guy, so that'd be preparing me for next year, playing more.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask you about that here a little bit later on. So you win this ball game, which I think was probably one of your really more impressive wins. I know they're young, but to beat them over there, you didn't really have much of a lapse. Have we seen all these before?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can cut them off here, Dylan. So you head to the postseason. Jeremy, do you care who you play? Does it matter?
No, not really to me. I mean, every night we just try to go out there and do our thing, and it doesn't really matter who's out there with us.
Campbell County's been playing really good basketball. You've beaten them twice. They haven't beaten you in a long time. Talk about matchups in our district. Basketball is a game of matchups. Who do we match up, in your opinion, best with, and who do we not match up with best?
I don't know. I think we match up well with Central because they have their big guy and we have Milloway, and then they've got some long athletic guys kind of like me and Stafford, and then their point guard is really good, and he's a smaller guy kind of like Kale, so probably them.
Let's go to the guys here. Flip, I'll start with you. Who do you like playing against the most? Is there a particular team that you like to play against, like the most?
Probably Clinton.
Why?
Just our rival. Good game to play. Always like hyped up, whatever.
Kel?
I would have to say Clinton too. It's always good competition.
Do you know those guys? Do you know those guys that play there?
Yes.
You've obviously played against them for years, probably.
Yeah.
Is that part of it?
Yeah. I like playing against my friends.
And beating them?
Yes.
Yeah, especially. Darren, I know you play football as well, and you're going to be a key player on the football team next year, and hopefully on the basketball team as well. Same to you, Clinton?
Yeah, because people, we know that they've gone to that school, so yeah, playing them, rival games.
Well, okay, let's stay with you, Darren, here. Do you which sport do you like best?
Football.
Why do you like football best?
I don't know. It's just I have more fun playing football. It's more aggressive contact sports.
Kel, Flip, did you all play football in the past?
Yeah, I played in middle school, but it didn't last long.
Yeah, I played all the way up to middle school. I was a quarterback.
How come you decided to just go with basketball?
I just like basketball more.
Let me ask Jeremy. I've asked you this before, but what about you? Did you play any other sports?
I played baseball for a long time, and then I played football when I was like really young.
Are you playing baseball this year?
Yeah, I am actually. John actually talked me into it, so we'll see how that goes.
Did you talk Cole and Mitchell into playing, or?
I think I might have had a little bit of influence in there, but I mean, not. I think that was more Matthew Swigert that talked them into it.
I can't really wait to see Cole play baseball. I think he told me he'd never even played the game before, so that's going to be interesting.
It's a fun time.
All right, guys, I'm going to ask you some series of questions here, and I'll get a response from all three of you, if you don't mind.
Like this.
We'll start with Flip. Yeah, because he's over there. Flip, your hairstyle. Tell me about that. Is it hard for you each morning to get your hair to look so nice?
No. I wake up and like shake it a little bit until like looks decent, and then I'll just go out the house, or I'll just get my hair done, like twist or something like that.
Kel, I'd say your hair is pretty easy to handle in the morning.
Yeah, it was nice cutting off my hair. I just wanted something new.
Darren, yours is a little bit more complicated.
Yeah, when it's not done, I'd say it look more like Flips. When I have it like this, it's pretty easy to handle.
Where do you, I'll ask Darren, just keep the mic there. Where do you see yourself in 20 years? What do you think you'll be doing 20 years from now?
20 years?
A long time, I know. You're not even 20 years old yet.
Yeah. I don't know. Say probably, good paying job. I feel like I'd be doing something involved with, probably around business, stuff like that.
Kind of like your dad?
Yeah, kind of like my dad.
He's in the
Probably
mortgage business, I think.
Yeah, probably starting I guess, more, I'd be 36. Yes, having a family around that time.
Cal, same with you.
36.
In 20 years. I don't even really know. I just want to be successful. And that's pretty much it.
20 years. Probably.
Tough question, isn't it, for somebody who's only like 16 or 17, isn't it?
Yeah. I really don't know either. Just.
Okay, I'm going to ask you a little easier one. In a zombie apocalypse, who on this team would you like to have with you to make sure that you survive? Flip?
Probably Stafford or Jeremy.
Okay. Kel?
I'm going to have to say Nick, because he's huge.
Are you saying because he might be the first one eaten, or?
No, I feel like he can protect me.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm taking Nick with me too. He could be my bodyguard.
Flip, define your role on the team.
When I get in, like just getting my teammates involved. Not to not make the same mistake I came in for. That's really it.
Kel is a point guard, obviously the same thing to get your teammates involved, but this year, have you had to become a little bit more of a leader?
Yes, and like during the games, I feel like I have to bring energy just to get everyone going, and just so we can start like getting in motion and stuff like that.
Darren? Same question, your role.
I'd say when I get in, just be physical, don't play timid and be aggressive.
I think your teammates call you DJ, I believe. How did that come about?
Well, that was really just from Coach Green and my dad. His name is Darren too, so I'm Darren Jr., so they just call me DJ.
Flip, is your name Flip, or do you have another name? Is that a nickname?
It's a nickname. My real name is Joseph.
That's what I was thinking. Kel, what's your name?
My name is Michael, Mykell.
So none of you really go by what your names are.
No.
Oh. Tell me. Let's get it back to Darren here. Tell me a fact about you that people might not know.
A fact?
Can you sing, dance? You want to act?
Nah, none of that. I guess you could say I was born on April Fool's Day. That's something pretty interesting.
Well, that's interesting. I mean.
Yeah.
I'll come back.
I'm good at video games, I guess.
Okay. That was quick. Kel, you better have one going.
I can dance.
Can you? Would you like to dance in front of us right here?
Nah.
Okay. Darren, what would you consider to be the perfect vacation?
Perfect vacation? Yeah. Probably somewhere island-like, probably Hawaii. Pretty nice. Being with the ocean, sea breeze, something calm.
Kel?
I want to go to Paris. That'd just be nice. I haven't been there. I'd like to be there.
Going any place with like friends, just hanging out, having fun.
So Flip, where's your go-to restaurant when you want to go out to eat? Where do you go? Favorite place?
A restaurant or like fast food?
Whatever.
Zaxby's.
Okay, Kel.
Chick-fil-A, but we don't have one right now.
Right.
They said fast food, so I guess I'll say a restaurant. Red Lobster. Yeah.
You got that upper end expense.
Yeah.
Darren, who's the hardest person to guard on the team?
Milloway.
Because of his size?
Yes.
Kel? Jeremy has a different answer. I'm going to come back to him in a moment.
I'm gonna say Flip. He's shifty.
Okay.
For me, I guard Kale the whole practice, so Kale.
Jeremy, you've answered this 3 times, but
Yeah, I always say Kel.
he always says you. Yeah.
Just because he's so quick and he can score from every level. So
So does anything scare you guys? You scared of anything?
Snakes. That's about it.
Okay.
Spiders.
Yeah, I'd have to go with Kel. I'd have to say spiders. Whenever some, just appear on me, crawling on me, have me jumping.
Let's go back to Flip here real quick. Your brother is Herbert Booker. And do you like being compared to him? And how are you different from Herbert? Was a football, basketball player. How are you different from him?
I really don't know. And no, I don't like being compared to him, actually. Because
I know. Go ahead.
I feel like we're very different from each other. Yeah.
Kel, I asked you this last year. How do you like getting compared to your sister, Jada Gwynn?
I don't like being compared to her because it feels like I have to live up to something. But it's like we have 2 different play styles, so yeah, I don't like being compared to her.
Darren, your grandmother was a pretty good player too. How would you like to be compared to her?
I mean, we definitely play way different. If you've ever seen my grandma, she's not very tall in stature. Yeah, about 5'4", so I don't know if I'd like to be compared to her.
What's your favorite school subject?
I'd probably say science, probably chemistry.
Kel?
Algebra.
Right now, history, actually.
Darren, I want you to compare coaching styles and yelling techniques between Coach Gaddis and Coach Green.
I'd probably say Coach Green would be more intense because I guess he'll be like right up in your face. With Coach Gaddis, he's just yelling at everybody in the entire practice. But Coach Green, he'll be right at you.
Okay. Kel, I don't need to ask you that question, but so Jeremy, Jonathan Milloway, and Stafford, they all can dunk. Can you 3 dunk?
I've dunked before.
it's not true. Actually,
Jeremy says
it's
not true. Flip, I mean, y'all are kind of challenged in terms of height, but that doesn't mean you still can't dunk.
No, I can't, actually.
At least they're honest. I mean, Kel wouldn't, but...
I've seen Kel dunk before. I threw him a lob and he dunked it after practice.
Well, we all did it at the boys' club when the goals were down. But, Darren?
I actually have dunked before.
I have seen Darren dunk,
Yeah.
How would you rate them compared to yours, Stafford's, and...
They're here.
7.5, 8.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
What part of your game do you all need to work on the most?
Me, I'd probably say probably more low post moves back to the basket game.
Just being more consistent with my shots.
Stop turning the ball over a lot. I have a problem with that. I don't know why.
What's your favorite sports team that you follow?
Which sport? It doesn't
Any
matter.
sport?
Basketball. I have to say the Nets, because that's my favorite player on that team.
Kel?
For college basketball, I like Kentucky, but we're not doing too good this year.
I say for NBA, it'd be the Lakers. LeBron's my favorite player.
I ask this question every week. I'm going to ask all 3 of you. Do you all talk trash? Are you all trash talkers?
Nah, me, I'm real quiet. I don't really talk that much.
I only talk if they talk to me.
It's also not true.
In game, no, but in practice, yeah, I talk a lot in practice.
So, Jeremy, what kind of stuff does Kel say?
Nah, I'm just playing. He don't start too much stuff.
Guys, I'm going to ask all four of you here, what's it going to take to win a state championship?
Hard work and defense.
Flip?
Us just playing as a team, come ready to play every game, no matter who we play.
I'm gonna just say us all being committed to that one goal and not taking anyone lightly or any plays off.
Yeah,
Yeah, just kind of everything they said. Really, just coming to practice every day or practice or a game, just with the mindset of that we all have a goal that we're trying to get to, and it's going to take all of us and everything we can give to do it. So just keep doing that and doing what Coach Green tells us to, and just bringing it every day.
Guys, thanks a lot for joining us here, and good luck in the tournaments.
Thank you.
Has been off the glass, and Flip's already out of here. He's already heading to the house there. We appreciate you watching our show here on Channel 12. Our next broadcast on basketball will be the Lady Wildcats on Friday. The guys will play on Saturday. For Dylan in the back, this is David Clary saying so long, everybody.
Life is made of moments. Moments to share. Moments that are special. And those that are everyday. How do we meet these moments for over 2 million people across 23 counties in East Tennessee? We will meet them not as just a group of hospitals, but as one community of care. Because this is about you, and it's about time. Covenant Health, for every moment.
Fox Insurance Group is a local agency. We've got a great staff. We're knowledgeable. The most rewarding thing about working in insurance is taking care of customers. When they come in, a lot of times they don't know what coverages they need. They're relying on us to give them the right coverage that's going to fit their needs, but also at a competitive price. Anybody can go to any agent, or they can call any 1-800 number. But getting that right agent that's going to take care of them and be there in time of need, and that's what we're here to do.
On the train test range, you learn what makes our heating and cooling systems so reliable. If there's a breaking point, we'll find it. It's hard to stop a train. Really hard. Train, the most reliable for a reason.
Moments that are special, and those that are everyday. How do we meet these moments for over 2 million people across